In this lesson, we'll begin painting areas of our 2D avatar to match the line work of our new shocked expression. So let's go ahead and get started. So in the previous lesson, we began working in a new group for our additional expression for our 2D avatar. And I brought over all of our color information and merged that into a new layer, which I titled Shocked Color. I also brought over our shocked sketch that we created during the sketching phase, and I also duplicated my colored line work and retitled that Shocked Line Work Color. And we went ahead and adjusted our line work to match that sketch for our shocked expression. So what we're really ready to do now is begin adjusting all of our colors and value information to match this line work. So with that said, let's go ahead and hide the visibility for our sketch shocked layer. And let's go ahead and turn the visibility on for our shocked color layer. And we can see that we have a few things here that we need to change to match our line work for our new expression. Now, as I mentioned in the previous lesson, we don't have to redo everything for an additional expression. We're going to be able to reuse a majority of the information that we built for our base expression. And we're going to begin by focusing just on this whole mouth area right here. So let's go ahead and click on our shocked color layer, and let's go ahead and begin painting this area. So I'm just going to grab my brush tool over in the tool panel, and let's go ahead and click on our brush panel over here, and I want to make sure I'm on transfer, and I got my pen pressure set for both opacity and flow, and I'm just using a hard round brush. So let's go ahead and just start roughing in and painting these areas. I'm going to be removing some of those smile lines that we had for our base expression. I just want to start pulling this skin down to really match the overall feel, the overall expression we're going for, which is a very shocked expression. Now, at the same time, just as I've mentioned in previous lessons, I want to make sure that everything I do for this expression reads well. And since we are reusing a majority of the colors and values that we painted in for our base expression, it's going to be a little bit easier on us to do that. We're basically going to focus on these areas that we're changing. Just kind of coming around here, starting out, just kind of roughing it in and just kind of blending it as I go. I'm just trying to think how the skin would pull down just over these areas where we have those smile lines. So he's just looking pretty shocked. So just as you can see, I'm just quickly sampling, resampling around the painted areas here, just very quickly, and readjusting them. I'm also right-clicking and bringing up my brush preset picker, and just resizing my brush as I go. And this is just one way that I prefer to work. Feel free to try any other way that's more comfortable for you. So I'm just bringing down this stubble. I'm thinking about how that highlight was looking on the previous expression. Now again, I'm just working directly on this shocked color layer. I'm not worried about making any destructive edits to it because again, I've got all that information, all that color information still down here in my base expression folder. So if I ever have to go back to it, I can easily do that. All right, let's start to focus on these lips a little bit. So I'm just adjusting, sampling, pulling all those colors and values to match the line work that we have for our shocked expression. Very good. I'm just kind of coming around here into the inner part of the mouth. Just kind of roughing that in right now. We can start to see this expression really come to life. Very nice. Again, just sampling for the tongue here, bringing those colors down. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and come down here to the bottom part of the lip. And if at any time we get a little bit lost, again, we can always hide the visibility of our expression shocked folder and just bring up our previous base expression just to look at that. We could even sample directly from it just to see where we're at. So we're on the right track right now. I think we're doing very well. And again, I'm working around these ellipse area. I've kind of lost some of that information. So I'll just go ahead and bring up that base expression and just sample from it. Alrighty. Just coming around there. Very good. And I'm going to add that highlight in just as I had in the previous expression. I'm just kind of thinking about how that highlight might look. I'm just sampling some white from here and there. Excellent. And there's going to be some kind of little bit of a shadow underneath the mouth there. Let's go ahead and flesh out this bottom area here. We got a lot of wrinkles that we're going to want to basically simplify since his chin is coming way down. So I'm thinking about how that little dimple he had in his chin might look. Kind of stretched, pulled down. Now, as I mentioned when we were sketching out our shocked expression during those sketching lessons, is that if you already have a reference photo for this expression, you can refer to that, or you can just kind of make it up based off of your base expression. It's really up to you. There's no one way, again, to do that. Very nice. Just kind of coming around here, reshaping this chin area. I think it's turning out very well. Let's go ahead and flesh out this wrinkle. I've kind of simplified a few things here, just thinking about how it's going to read at a small size. In fact, let's go ahead and zoom out just to see how that's looking, and I think it's coming along very nicely. I may want to kind of lower the intensity of these areas right here just a little bit, just bringing in some of that stubble into that. Just resizing here my brush tip. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and focus up here on the brow area. And we're going to want to change these eyebrows up. Just kind of painting over those areas where those eyebrows were. Kind of blending that right there. Alrighty, and we're going to go ahead and start to paint in these areas of the eyebrows. Just kind of quickly as I go, just kind of quickly cleaning up as I go around the eyebrows. If I go outside of those lines, it's okay. Quickly paint over that. And let's go ahead and focus on our wrinkles up here. Again, his eyebrows are being furrowed upward, pushed upward, and so the wrinkles are obviously going to change. So you can see how much quicker we can work now reusing a lot of the information that we created for that base expression. We're not having to redo everything. And doing it this way is really going to allow for everything to flow nicely when shifting between expressions. There's not going to be any major stark contrast. There's not going to be any big showstoppers when fluctuating between the expressions. So we're pretty well at a point where we're almost done. Let's go ahead and focus on these eyes. And we just want to bring up some of that white around the eyes, just so that shocked expression reads all the better at a small size. And I'm thinking about making this a little bit lighter since his eyes are a little more open. They're not, the flesh isn't as condensed or relaxed now that they're more open. Very good. And just coming over here to this eye as well. And since they're a little more open, I may want to work in just a little bit more white. I feel like light's going to reach in there. I would assume that some light would reach in there a little bit more. Very good. Very nice. Let's go ahead and zoom out and just see how it looks at a small size, and I think that looks excellent. Let's go ahead and collapse our expression shocked folder, and let's just cycle between the two really quick. Very good. So what we're ready to do in the next lesson is just add some final touches. We're going to work in our sunglasses, our sun lenses, or our glass lenses rather, and we'll just kind of have some final thoughts. So we'll see you then.